So, welcome back to today's video. Today we will cover a song, not cover in terms of singing of course, but cover a song in German and this is the topic. Atemlos durch die Nacht. It was a kind of super hit in Germany in, I think, 2014. Yeah, this is the date. I went on genius.com. Don't wonder, there are other sites where you can access it, but here sometimes there are like annotated lyrics so that I can understand maybe better what the content maybe mean if I don't get it exactly, but yeah. So we're gonna just start with the first line. So Atemlos durch die Nacht means breathless through the night. This is, by the way, a song by Helene Fischer, which is a very popular, very famous German Schlager song singer. I don't know what Schlager exactly means in English. No, not but. That's Schläger. Yeah, hits. It would like but word by word translate to hits, but in general this just means like very kind of. It has its own genre. I can't necessarily explain it in English, but you know it when you hear it. Anyways, let's just start. Songtext zu Atemlos durch die Nacht. That means song text, of course. Zu means to or for in this case. Atemlos durch die Nacht, which means breathless through the night. So, Strophe 1, which means is a chorus or hook. I'm not quite sure. There are different phrases in English, but yeah, of course verse. I confused the two, but verse 1. So, wir ziehen durch die Straßen und die Clubs dieser Stadt. Das ist unsere Nacht, wie für uns beide gemacht. Oh, oh. Ich schließe meine Augen, lösche jedes Tabu. Küsse auf der Haut sowie ein Liebestattoo. Oh, oh. So, maybe don't necessarily take that as it is on the song, but yeah, I'm just gonna say oh, oh, even though it might sound a bit weird, but yeah. Wir ziehen durch die Straßen und die Clubs dieser Stadt. We pull, you could say, but this means to go through, basically. Durch die Straßen, through the streets, und die Clubs and the clubs dieser Stadt, of this city. Das ist unsere Nacht. In this case, this is not necessarily correct. You would say unsere. I'm going to write it on the right hand side for you. This would be the correct writing. Das ist unsere Nacht. This is our night. Das ist unsere Nacht. Yeah, this is our night. Just to have it written correctly there. Wie für uns beide gemacht. Like for us both done. This is the second past form, the, what is it called? Perfect, you could say, form of to make, machen in German. Machen. And gemacht is like an English word. I don't think there is necessarily an equivalent in English in this case, but like have been made, but anyways. So this just means has, like for us both made. So this is basically the translation. I don't think I need to translate the or. Of course, it's different in the song, and like pronouncing it might sound weird, but yeah. Ich schließe meine Augen, lösche jedes Tabu. I close my eyes. Ich schließe meine Augen, lösche jedes Tabu. Delete every taboo. Is it the same in English? Taboo? Yeah, it should be taboo. Yeah. Küsse auf der Haut sowie ein Liebestattoo. Kisses on the skin. So, or as in English maybe you would say. Like a love tattoo. So, Liebes tattoo. I mean, it's kind of difficult switching between the two languages, so don't mind if I might confuse them. Liebestattoo is it's not kind of, I think it explains itself if you know like German sentence and word structure already, but this is just of love, so like the genitive case of love, Liebes, of the love, and tattoo in German you would say, like the Germanized version of tattoo. It's just, the noun, and this orients itself in this, so this is kind of, what's it called? Referring to that. Anyways. So, kisses on the skin like a love tattoo. We're gonna probably translate that as a whole song text at the end again, but for now we're just gonna do it part by part. Pré-refrain, you would probably say in German, even though I haven't heard that necessarily any time in my life, but yeah, this is probably kind of the Germanized version of pre-chorus, and yeah. So, was das zwischen uns auch ist, Bilder, die man nie vergisst, und dein Blick hat mir gezeigt, das ist unsere Zeit. Here again, this is the E is cut out, so this is more in what's it called? In time with the rhythm of the song. Was das zwischen uns auch ist, what that between us also is. So it kind of means no matter what is between us, or no matter, like, it rather means it doesn't matter. Kind of like it doesn't matter. Bilder, die man nie vergisst, pictures that one never forgets. So it's the same. Und dein Blick hat mir gezeigt, and this can either mean view, but in this case it means the way you look at me, the look in your eye, you could say. Has me shown, so has shown to me, or has shown me, or led me to think, you could also say, but rather shown me. This derives from the word zeigen, which just means to show something. And das ist unsere Zeit this just means that is our time. Then we have the chorus, refrain. This is, I think, derives pretty obviously from French, so this is just the French word taken for German. Atemlos durch die Nacht, which means breathless through the night as the title. Bis ein neuer Tag erwacht, atemlos einfach raus, deine Augen ziehen mich aus, atemlos durch die Nacht, spür, was Liebe mit uns macht, atemlos schwindelfrei, großes Kino für uns zwei. Wir sind heute ewig 1000 Glücksgefühle, alles was ich bin, teile ich mit dir, wir sind unzertrennlich, irgendwie unsterblich, komm, nimm meine Hand und geh mit mir. Is there another? No, this was all for the chorus. So this means breathless through the night until a new day wakes up, you could say. I'm not quite sure how to translate that in terms of the verb. Awakens, dawns, yeah. But this you would say in German, dämmert. This is more in terms of the sky, like taking up the colors of dawn. But you could also say dawns until a new day dawns, but I would say like wakes up, because this derives from the word erwachen, which can mean like to wake up, or rather to awaken. Atemlos einfach raus, breathless, simply out. Einfach can have different meanings, but in this case it just means simply, just, only. But it can also mean like one time, like a one-time product that was like, what's it called? Produziert. Yeah, produced, of course, once. Eine einfache Ausfertigung. Even though this is pretty advanced stuff, but just to let you know. Einfache Ausfertigung. For for example, of a document, eines Dokumentes, simple copy. Even this is, by the way, I think the same kind of simple and simply is also kind of related. I think this is derived from, I don't know, maybe Latin or whatever, but yeah, like that, something is easy. And yeah, by the way, this also means easy, so yeah, this is kind of related, seems to be. But this, in this case, as I already said, just means just or only. So Atemlos einfach raus means breathless, simply out, outside, I don't know. Deine Augen ziehen mich aus. This is more of a, what's it called? More of a, which way do I say that? Kind of, I would call it sexually related, so just to translate that word by word, your eyes ziehen, this is the kind of shortened version. I mean, it's not much shortened, but ziehen, which means to pull. They pull me, aus, outside, out. I don't know in which, I mean, I know in which it is meant, but yeah. In terms of the other meaning, but maybe there is just no other meaning. But in this case, as I already said, it's probably pretty much sexually related. And it's saying your eyes pull me, not pull me out in the way you might think, but pull me out, like sich ausziehen is the kind of, what's it called, the saying, the phrase to say undress, to get undressed, to pull off your clothes, you could say. I think pull off clothes is maybe more direct in terms of translating with pulling off. I think you get what I mean, but yeah. So this is the meaning of it. Atemlos durch die Nacht, breathless, atemlos durch die Nacht, through the Nacht, night, breathless through the night. Spür, was Liebe mit uns macht. Feel or sense, spüre, this means ich spüre, or it could also technically mean, I don't know in which way it is meant. It could either mean this, like ich spür, but even more shortened, she or whoever wrote the song says ich spür, so I feel. Or it can mean like a, what's it called? Befehl? A rather commanding way of saying, like, what's it called? I would just say the commanding, I forgot the words of saying the verb. What's it called? Not conjunctive, I don't know. Anyways, but what I'm just saying is this could also mean feel, like go ahead and feel what this, in this case, was Liebe mit uns macht, what love with us does. This is the German sentence structure of it, but this just means feel what love does to us. Spür, was Liebe mit uns macht. Feel what love with us makes, does, whatever. So feel what love does to us. Atemlos, schwindelfrei, breathless. Schwindelfrei means, what's it called? Schwindel. Dizzy. This can also mean to kind of lie to someone in some shady way, but in this case this just means dizziness or vertigo. And in this case this means free of dizziness. Großes Kino für uns zwei. By the way, free of dizziness kind of word by word, because frei means free. Großes Kino für uns zwei. Big cinema for us two. Großes, big Kino, cinema for uns, us, zwei, two. So yeah, big cinema for the two of us, the both of us. Big cinema, like großes Kino, I don't think you say that in English. This just means very, very much happening, very kind of big things. A lot to, what's it called, to verarbeiten. Process, yeah, you could say. A lot, no, that was nothing. A lot to process, basically a lot happening. I think you get what I mean. Großes Kino für uns zwei. Wir sind heute ewig, 1000 Glücksgefühle. We are today, what's it called? Forever, I forgot the word. We are eternal, yeah. We are today eternal. So today we are eternal. Wir sind heute ewig. We sind, are, heute, today, ewig, eternal. 1000 Glücksgefühle. Glück means luck. Gefühle means feelings. So feelings of happiness, you could say. Because this is not necessarily like relating to the word luck in this case, like in lotto, or is it called lottery in English. In German we call it just lotto, because it is also referring to this. Let me just pull a picture up. I thought there was actually a kind of a company, this is what I mean, to this lotto, but yeah, you don't necessarily need to know that. So Glücksgefühle rather means like 1000 feelings of happiness, but in German we just say Glücksgefühle, feelings of kind of luck, but yeah, rather refers to happiness. So today we are eternal, 1000 feelings of happiness. Wir sind heute ewig, 1000 Glücksgefühle. Alles, was ich bin, teile ich mit dir. Another abbreviation of teile. Alles, everything, was ich bin, what I am, what I bin, am, teile ich mit dir, teile, ich teile. But as the sentence structure is different here, with a comma, like parting, do you say parting, like separating or splitting this sentence, and building one with a, like there are different sentence structures, and this is a different one compared to the normal one, like I am, this is, especially with a comma. There can be different positions of the verb. What I'm just saying is ich teile, and this is teile ich. This is the abbreviated version of that. I mean, in a lot of songs this is still very much clean, but in a lot of songs you're gonna encounter this where they kind of cut off the last vowel or even entire words, like spür. If she is saying ich spür, then just to match the rhythm of the song, you could say, so that it still fits into the line. Alles, was ich bin, teile ich mit dir. Everything what I am, teile ich mit dir. Teile, share, ich, I, mit, with, dir, you. So I share with you everything that I am. Wir sind unzertrennlich, irgendwie unsterblich. We sind, are, unzertrennlich, inseparable, you could say. Let me just have a look what Google would say. Yeah, inseparable, because is basically, it's the same in English where something is not possible. Zertrennlich, this is the word to say this something is like able to be separated. This derives from the word trennen, the kind of rude word, which just means, yeah, to separate, to, yeah, put something apart. And unzertrennlich is inseparable in this case. Irgendwie unsterblich, somehow, what's it called? Word by word that would mean undiable, but this just means immortal. I mean, it's kind of not making sense if I say it word by word, but I think you get what I mean if I say that. But this just means immortal. because this derives from the word sterben, which means to die. Komm, nimm meine Hand und geh mit mir. Come, nimm, take, my, hand, und, and, geh, go, mit, with, mir, me. So, come take my hand and go with me. Did I translate that as a whole? I don't think so, as a entire sentence. So, today we are inseparable, somehow immortal. Come take my hand and go with me. The second verse, Strophe 2. Komm, wir steigen auf das höchste Dach dieser Welt, halten einfach fest, was uns zusammenhält. Oh, oh, bist du richtig süchtig, Haut an Haut, ganz berauscht, fall in meine Arme und der Fallschirm geht auf. Oh, oh. So, komm, we steigen. Which way do we say that? We climb, you could say, in this case. Let me just translate that. Yeah, climb, go up, yeah, ascend. In general, this just means to step onto something. In this case, you would rather say step onto. Could also say climb, just when you move onto something and take kind of a step or climb or whatever. Come, we step onto, climb onto, auf, das, the, höchste, highest, Dach, roof, dieser, of this, genitive form, Welt, world. Come, we climb. We could also say erklimmen, which is also to climb. I think more related probably, like linguistically, but in this case it just means to, also to get onto something, to step onto something, you could say. But erklimmen is more in terms of climb, and steigen is more to get onto something. Or erklimmen is more like to reach something, you could say. So, come, we get onto the highest roof of this world. Halten einfach fest, was uns zusammenhält. Hold, simply, fest, which means tight in this case. In general, this can also mean hard or something. Keep in mind, if this was a noun, this would mean like a, party, kind of festive activity. You could say party probably, which Google would say. Festival. Yeah, but in this case, firmly or tightly, you could say. Because in English, it's of course an adverb because it's referring to a verb, but in this case, in German, we don't necessarily make a difference. So, halten einfach fest. Halten means hold. Einfach, simply, we had that up here somewhere. Where was that? Here. Einfach. This is also just simply. And this also, in terms of the song and the kind of feeling of the song, this is just like emphasizing that something is like you don't care necessarily about something else. Simply hold on tightly. Was uns zusammenhält, what us holds together, or together holds, word by word, because this is zusammen, which means together, hält, it holds. So we just hold on to what holds us together. Bist richtig süchtig, Haut an Haut, ganz berauscht. Bist du richtig süchtig? Are you really, what's it called? Addicted? Bist, are, du, you, richtig, really, süchtig, addicted? Haut an Haut, skin to skin, or skin on skin in German, but in English you say skin to skin. Ganz berauscht, really, This just means on drugs, but what do you say in English to that? Intoxicated, yeah. Stoned, but also, I don't know. I don't necessarily know the use of this word, but you could say intoxicated, even though that, to me, as a German, seems more like, in terms of like toxins, but I don't know. You probably say intoxicated, but this just means on drugs, basically. So, you are really, bist du richtig süchtig? This could also be a more like put as a question, because in questions in German you always put the verb at the beginning of the sentence, so you could or either interpret this as are you really addicted, or you could say you are really addicted and you just shorten the sentence basically. But then you wouldn't necessarily put the du, the you in between the bist and richtig. You would just say bist richtig süchtig, but I don't know. Fall in meine Arme und der Fallschirm geht auf. Fall means fall, not necessarily the noun, but in this case it could also be a noun, and it could also, by the way, in this case be a noun, but this is very much a verb in this case, rather saying to do that. It's called imperative in German, I don't know, probably imperative in English. The command form, you could say. I knew this was going to be imperative, of course. So, fall in meine Arme und der Fallschirm geht auf. Fall into my arms, fall in meine Arme und der Fallschirm geht auf. And the Fallschirm means parachute. Geht, goes auf. Open, you could say, goes open or whatever. This could also mean goes up, but in this case this just means the parachute opens. Geht auf is also, by the way, used in, for example, die Sonne geht auf. And that just means the sun rises, so it has a lot of different meanings, this kind of phrase, you could say. And then we of course have this. Then we have the pré-refrain. I don't necessarily know how you pronounce that in German. I mean, I know you would say pré-refrain or something, but I haven't heard that word I haven't heard it in my entire life. Alles, was ich will, ist da. Große Freiheit pur, ganz nah. Nein, wir wollen hier nicht weg. Alles ist perfekt. By the way, if you want to kind of improve your listening skills, you can always skip back in the video and re-listen to the German, because there's not necessarily a lot of German in here, more like explanatory stuff. But if you want to, you can also always do that. Alles, was ich will, ist da. Alles, everything, or all. Was ich will, what I will, want, is, da, there. So everything I want is there. Große Freiheit pur, ganz nah. Große, great, Freiheit, freedom, pur, pure, ganz. In this case, it just means entirely. But no, in this case, in this sentence, this means very, but in just general, this means entirely. Nah, of course, means near. Nein, wir wollen hier nicht weg. So, by the way, big freedom, like pure big freedom, very near, you could say. So, the freedom is very close, kind of. Nein, wir wollen hier nicht weg. No, nein is no, of course. We wollen uns hier, nicht, not, weg, away. So no, we don't want away from here. Alles ist perfekt. Alles, everything, all, is, perfect, perfect. So everything is perfect. And then we again have this, which is of course breathless through the night, atemlos durch die Nacht, spür, was Liebe mit uns macht, feel what love does to us or with us, atemlos schwindelfrei, breathless, without Vertigo, you could say. Great, großes Kino für uns zwei. Woo. Great cinema for us two, for the two of us. Wir sind heute ewig 1000 Glücksgefühle. We are eternal today, 1000 feelings of happiness, you could say. Alles, was ich bin, teile ich mit dir. Everything I am, I share with you. Wir sind unzertrennlich, irgendwie unsterblich. We are inseparable, somehow immortal. Komm, nimm meine Hand und geh mit mir. Come, take my hand and go with me. Atemlos, breathless. And then we have the bridge in German, it's also called the bridge. Oh, Lust pulsiert auf meiner Haut. And that was all for it. Interesting. So, lust, you could say in English. This is, of course, also I would say, more sexual reference, but yeah. Pulsiert auf meiner Haut. Lust pulsates on my skin. Lust. Pulsiert, pulsates auf on my skin is Haut. By the way, this is feminine, so this is meiner, auf wem, auf meiner Haut. So, and then we of course again have this refrain in German, this chorus you'd say in English, or hook, I don't know. There are different names for that in English, and yeah. So, that was it for today. I hope you liked this video. Leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe if you want to. If you got anything to add, and yeah. That was it for today. Bye!